A legendary director spent years making this film. Finally, he shows it to actors and studio executives and dies in the middle of the night from a heart attack a few days later. Is it a coincidence? A natural cause? Or something else?
I think it's a curse.
That's it's a curse. That's what we're going to talk about today. Of curses or real life conspiracy theories or anything else that connected to movies, elites, just a little bit, and Hollywood, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And considering everything that's going on nowadays,
I'm just gonna talk about cursed movies, cursed sets, accidents on sets, and everything that is connected to real life filming production that are not that easy or glamorous that everyone can think about. There's a lot of things that you can say mystical about filming, about golden era of Hollywood, about golden era of Russian movie film production, but every time when we dig a little deeper, you can see that mysticism and some paranormal occurrences and some curses and also some very dangerous people are always around TV, always around movies, always
about
around
movies
actors.
and all this entertainment,
Yeah,
business. It's a separate.
Yes. It's a separate
world.
universe. Yeah, it's a separate
Absolutely,
universe.
with its own rules, and as we hear lately.
Yeah, and as a person who works,
rituals.
yes, and as a person who works in the film industry, as a production designer, I think it is very interesting to just think about what we are dealing with.
But we started with Stanley Kubrick. He is a very famous movie, Eyes Wide Shut. And Julia watched it. I haven't. I watched like a trailer. I watched little pieces of it, pieces and bits, because I remember there was a lot of criticism about this movie, and I read about it like it almost was a porn. And I'm like, I don't want to watch porn. I don't want to watch Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise doing it. I just don't want to watch it. I didn't even connect at that time that there was anything bigger than that. All my attention was concentrated on the sexual part of it, and I thought the movie was sexual. Like it was all about the relationship. But as it turned out, and I started learning about it now, it's not about that at all. It's just a part of it, right? Yeah. And I don't know even how big that part was. It was told in reviews that it was, the main part.
I think it was.
They took attention. I think.
I think it was told that it was very sexual, very explicit, just because it was very new to the world. Because there weren't that many movies made on that particular theme, dark romance, and everything so sensual. And I don't find it very sexual in a way. I find it very disturbing in many other forms. I find
that's probably was the main.
Yeah, I find it very telling the truth about the high society, telling the truth about how they do not seem to grasp the idea of standard living. And
but it wasn't like it's telling the truth. The movie was not presented as telling the truth. We're, especially now, when people rewatch it, or some people who just watched it the first time because it became, on top of all these files that was discovered, it became popular, and the clips from the movie circulated everywhere on social media, so everyone wanted to watch it. And people thought, okay, was a conspiracy theory and like just a fantasy. Most of the people today don't think it was a fantasy. They think it was a truth. Kubrick was telling the truth. It took years for him to make this movie.
Yeah.
Literally. He was really, really particular about so many details. And he shows it to the executive of the studio, right? And he dies just less than a week later. At night, from heart attack, natural causes. Everyone says it was natural causes.
Of course.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, That 20 minutes, the movie wasn't completely finished. He said it was final cut, but it wasn't completely finished. There was a lot of little tweaks needed to be done. So whoever worked on the movie after he died, they cut out 20 minutes from the ending of the movie. That's what the rumors are. And no one's seen that. No one's seen those 20 minutes of the movie. What was there? People keep telling that it was actually, sacrificing ritual. But
Yeah, I heard about that.
yeah, we can't know for sure. Of course, we don't know. But something happened to
Well,
this 20 minutes.
I think that there is a very high possibility that those lost minutes are still somewhere. You can erase something. Something tells me that
It was
they did.
film. It still was film. It was
Yeah,
1999.
yeah. People didn't erase them, but it was very provocative. Like from the first minute to the last one, it was very openly critical and openly seductive, still seductive to a lot of viewers, I think. And the point that Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise divorced after this movie because they couldn't, I've read that they couldn't grasp the idea of seeing each other anymore. It was something telling.
Yeah, something definitely was happening. Kubrick said, it was one of the most important, not the one of the most important, but the most important work of his life. So his films were, on the stranger side, right? They were not really public pleasing, entertaining movies. His movies were about thinking. They were always controversial. But even considering to those movies he's done, what is it, Mechanical Orange? What it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He still called it the most important. So he wanted to show something. He wanted to tell something with this movie, but maybe he had a chance, but people still took it as just a movie, just a story, and he couldn't completely show everything that was going on in it. But the interesting part about it, that also obviously rumors, obviously conspiracy theory, we're supposed to say that, because it's not proven. Allegedly, we're supposed to say that, even that Nicole Kidman's father, Anthony Kidman, was very big in those elite circles. He was a professor in Australia, and he was participating in different kind of rituals, including the hunting rituals. And I don't know if you heard about the hunting rituals, where they hunt kids, stuff, and it's not really hunting for animals. And when he died, so the rumors started circulating, but obviously they were denied. If you start searching for it, it would say that it was investigated, and it's not true. But rumors also connect Nicole Kidman to her father, and that she also participated in these rituals. Of course, you cannot prove it. You can't prove anything.
Well, Stanley Kubrick is known making very, very odd and controversial movies, as you were saying, the Clockwork Orange and also
Clockwork
Lolita.
Orange. Okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah, also Lolita. It was also his doing, and also Full Metal Jacket. It's very odd movie, and of course my favorite, The Shining by Stephen King, that Stephen King disliked absolutely.
He hates it, yeah.
Yeah, he hated it, but I love this movie. I think it was made in such a way that it's so alluring and so captivating, and you just can't stop watching everything that was going on there. And of course, everything that happened to the main actress of this movie, if you remember, she was treated very badly because Stanley Kubrick wanted because Stanley Kubrick wanted her to be frightened, very very
he pushed
shy.
his actors to the next levels. He pushed them very, very hard.
Yes. He pushed them very, very hard, but you know what happened to her, right? She was
No,
I don't think that she was put in the mental ward, but she got very psychologically shut down. She couldn't work anymore. And yeah,
Wow.
so there's a lot of things that we can say about Stanley Kubrick. He wasn't shy of doing something very odd. And all of his movies, I cannot say that I love them all, but most of his movies were very innovative and very odd. Like
Yeah.
2001 Space Odyssey also is kind of like, you can't say anything bad or anything very, very good about it if you don't like space or something like this. But it it feels like it stays with you. That's why I'm not shocked that he and only he made this movie with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise that we were talking about.
Yeah. I wouldn't call Shining odd though. It was
The artistic things that
dark.
it was dark, but the artistic things that he actually incorporated in this movie, the psychological work with the actors
The
and everything, it
psychological
was,
pressure probably that he put on actors. Maybe
yeah,
that was
yeah, it was not odd, but it was very intense. It was very intense, and
and it's
I
still
absolutely love it.
yeah, and everything from this movie is still people using it for all kind of purposes, and remake it actually the scene where he
Oh,
breaks the door with the hammer, not
yeah,
hammer, the
here
axe.
comes
Um,
Johnny.
yeah, here's come Johnny, and it's been done in so many other movies in so many different ways. Even like in one of my favorite Kingsman, uh, the mother she breaks the door with the axe as well.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is not connected to King in any way, but it's interesting that when you read and research Nicole Kidman and how in her father, you find all this, denies that was never proven that. But rumors started circulating, but they did not start circulating about any other actors from this movie or anyone else. Why about him, right? Even
Well,
though
not
also Tom
about.
Cruise, he's in Scientology, but it's like kind of a weird religion sort of organization.
Well,
It's
it's a
open. It's
cult.
not secret.
No,
It's a
it's a cult,
a lot of people
and
call it
it's a
cult,
very, very serious
but it's
cult,
not
I think.
secret. It's not secret like
It's
other
not
ones. Like
secret. They were
yeah,
always like in the open, but it doesn't make it less. It doesn't make it less threatening, I would say, because if you will go down the rabbit hole and
yeah, I
research
did. I did. I
Scientology,
researched Scientology. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
it's the same. It's the same elites. It's the same money. It's the same thing that you don't want in your life.
but I hope they don't do the same rituals. But it was, if it was, even we're talking allegedly, but it was, if it was the true, imagine too,
Mm-hmm.
their family, they're
Yeah,
living together. One is into Scientology, another one was part of, if she was of a completely
if she
different
was.
organization.
Well,
Yeah, but of course it's all rumors. We're just talking.
every time when I hear about those things, I'm not surprised actually that a lot of people who are on the top, they are part of some cults or some organizations or anything like this. If you remember, there were like some investigations of the signs that the stars make, like with their fingers and everything, that this is the sign of the Satan, or this is the sign of Masons or something like this.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if it's the game that they are playing just to make us viewers on our toes, on our tiptoes, just trying to guess what they're making, what they're doing, or it's the reality of their lives. I don't know, but they're not making anything to shut it down. Those
yeah, for
investigations and
sure,
those curious
for
looks,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. But you mentioned Freemasons, and I met a guy in a party, very old guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably was in his 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and he looked like he's 120, honestly. And he was a Freemason, and he said he was Freemason. He had their like маленький, little a pin,
Little, yeah,
Freemason
pin.
pin.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a lot of cars with Freemason on the back,
Uh-huh.
sign attached in the back. They're not like hiding anything. They're actually pretty open. What's going
Why
on,
would they
Ivan?
hide anything? They
Yeah,
love the
but
attention.
it's funny because I was like instantly like, because you hear so much about it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is Freemason. What, like, is he going to like ask me to join? This is like I didn't think that,
No.
but you have all kinds of thoughts. And he started telling me about like they can collect money for charities, and they like
Hmm.
brought food to like this church or to this orphanage, and they brought food to some other to families for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, this is not okay. Don't tell me all of this, because that is not what I know about you Freemason people. You're supposed to have rituals and torture and all of that, and but not bringing pumpkins to families. And it was so strange to hear about what he did. And he showed me pictures. Here's our organization. There was like for about 15 old dudes in this purple kind of clothes, like cloak or whatever it's called. I don't know what type of clothes they wear, in little hats. Like, okay, he's showing me the secret organization. I guess it's not secret. That's secret.
Well, I don't
It
think he
was
was very high
strange.
ranked. I think that he was,
Absolutely,
if
and
he
probably not.
actually was in this particular
Most likely
organization,
not.
he was very, very low
Yeah,
ranked. Yeah, that's why he was blabbing about this.
is that
That's why
what
he
I
thought that
thought?
was a good
Because
idea. Yeah,
I don't think they will like delivering pumpkins for Thanksgiving to families. Like, it's not probably their mission. I don't know
probably.
what it was so strange. But I see a lot of Freemason signs on cars. I'm like, Freemason, interesting. Why? But maybe there's other signs on other cars. Sometimes I see we don't even know what they mean. They could mean
Yes,
anything.
that's yeah, because sometimes we can see a lot of, different sigils and everything, and we
Yeah.
might not know the idea behind it. So maybe we're watching some cult go in there on the
Talking
ritual.
about
Maybe.
science and cults. Of course, I have a book, but
Of
very last
course.
book, the very last book, Mama's Little Flowers called, and
Oh
it
yeah, I know this
is
book.
it is about obviously you're going to find out about it's at the end of the book, but there is a sign, and I've got created sign. I read about Illuminatis, Freemasons. I
Yeah.
collected a bunch of signs to make like mine to understand the meaning of each figures of each shape on the sign, what it means. So I could
Hmm.
also create my sign with the meaning. But let's return to movies. So
We're not
let's
talking
go
about
by
Russian.
years then. The first one,
Okay.
1960. I don't know other ones, but 1968 was Rosemary's Baby. 73 was The Exorcist, and 82 was Poltergeist. So Rosemary Babies was the first one out of this
Yeah,
batch.
but I think the Omen was somewhere in between because it was
Omen, I didn't
also
even
in the
look at it. Did you
70s.
look at the years when
I
it was
will
shot?
watch it
It was
right
one of my
now.
favorites. I absolutely love Omen. I think it's such a
Yeah,
religious statement.
yeah.
It's
It was 1976.
okay. So 1976. So let's talk
Yeah.
about it between Exorcist and Poltergeist.
Okay.
Okay, it would be great for timeline, but also it would
Mm-hmm.
be great in terms of history repeats itself, because
Yeah.
those ages and nowadays, like 60s, 70s, and nowadays are so similar. Like, people were so into cults in 60s, 70s, and they're back into cults again. It's like
Oh
people
yes.
found out about all of it. It kind of got buried, and now it kind of got digged out again,
I
but
don't
it's
think it
already
was
was once.
I don't think it was very buried because if you remember, there was this great movie. I like it very much. It was called Witchcraft. It was 1996, and because one of the
1996.
reasons, yeah, it was something like a witchcraft fever that was going
Mm-hmm.
on around this movie because it was very graphic in a way of real rituals that were shown to the public, and it's been told that the real witch, I think she was a Wiccan or something like
Mm-hmm.
this, Wiccan priestess or something like this. She was consultating for this movie, so people actually believed in everything that was shown, and that's plus there were some very odd criminal cases that were involving witchcraft. and satanic rituals, and so it created the witchcraft fever. And after this, things got a little bit turned down, and people started to forget about such a things as witchcraft and demons and everything. But it was very short-lived, because we are now in the new era of
Yeah,
this interest. It's
it was
speaking
it
again.
was yeah, because of the obviously of the files, but like somebody, I guess, was there were whistleblowers, but because it was not social media, anything like that, people
Yeah.
couldn't get as much information as they can get now. So it didn't become so big and huge, but people were interested. There was a lot of new movements started from that, like hippie movements, right?
Mm.
Movements. And now we also have a lot of different movements here in America. They didn't necessarily come from these files or anything else, but they started a little bit early. It's like a little bit different kind of revolution of generational revolution, I would say. But it is funny that cults and all these rituals, they did show itself their heads in movies, in different movies. Even Avatar 3 was about all of that.
I didn't watch it. I didn't like the first Avatar. I didn't watch
Oh,
the
you
second
didn't?
and the
I loved
third.
it, and I watched
I
that.
don't. I
Or
didn't like
was
it
it
at all.
second or
Yeah.
third? Was it second? I think it was all about gossips and everything that was going on around.
Mm.
It was all in that movie, but a lot of people didn't see the patterns and they didn't even click it. But if you were interested originally in those
Hmm.
conspiracy theories and everything,
Yeah,
you would see all of it. It was all there.
I
It
know.
was all for you.
So, so
Yeah, but
the
let's go
Rosemary's
to
Child, of course, is
Rosemary's
very
Child.
famous, not just because of how psychologically odd and very hard on the mothers and new mothers and everything it was, but also because of what happened to Roman Polanski's wife, because she was
Right.
actually unalived by the Charles Manson cult.
The
And
cult in 60s, so that's where it's all related. Yeah.
yes, and also people say that it was a curse that Roman Polanski actually put on himself, because he made this movie, because it was praising the Satan and everything, so
Do you
it didn't
believe
end
that?
well for him. I don't believe in that. I think
Yeah,
Sharon
me
Tate
neither. I
was
don't believe that.
actually, I think she was actually just attacked by a bunch of crazy lunatics, and
It
it
was
didn't have,
opportunistic opportunity.
yeah, and it didn't have anything to do with the religious things. It didn't have anything to do with the cults, with curses, with demons, and anything of the sort. I read the book. I watched the movie, of course, not once, not twice, not three times. It was 10
Rosemary's Baby
times.
is one of my top three
Yeah,
favorite books. I absolutely
I
love Rosemary's
absolutely
Baby.
love it. It's frightening. It's very, very to me it's like Birds, because the movie Birds is also, it's very tense, and you know what's going to happen next, and you actually you can predict it, but you don't want it to happen. So to me, those two movies, they're kind of similar in the vibes. I love it very much,
Yeah,
but I don't think that this movie is cursed. To me, this is just
yeah.
a rumors.
I didn't feel that. It's very hard psychological. There's nothing really going on in the movie per se. They don't show anyone to be
Well, they show
physically
one ritual.
murdered.
They show the ritual of the
But I mean, it
you
wasn't
know,
like bloody. It wasn't violent.
yeah,
The
it
tension
wasn't.
was built very, very slow. And sometimes you just guess that somebody was like killed from like what they said. He jumped from the window or something,
Yeah,
but they didn't show it.
yeah.
So, or did you show it the movie? I don't remember. Um, but the fact is, it wasn't a typical horror movie. It was really a psychological thriller, and
Yeah.
that was it. And yeah, I never believed this movie to be cursed. It was an opportunity, the murder of opportunity for those, for that
Mhm.
group, crazy group of people.
Not every movie that is rumored to be cursed is connected to the supernatural, to the satanic rituals, to the demons, to whatever,
Yeah, like
whatever.
by Ice
But
White Shot.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I think that it's very commonly thought that because of the themes that were, talked about, because of the creatures that could potentially be called upon, this movie can be cursed. Like books also. We have this book,
Mm-hmm.
Master and Margarita. It's
Mm-hmm.
also considered to be cursed because every time when theater starts to rehearsal the show, or we have this also movie by Bortka, it is considered cursed because of the things that happen on set, because of the actors life after this movie, and because of the themes that are inside the book. We have
Mm-hmm.
also Volant, we have Yeshua. You can go anywhere without curses. That's just how we
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. So now our next movie is going to be what? Poltergeist,
Oh yeah. No.
1982.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No?
No, Poltergeist by The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah. No, The Exorcist. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
1973. The movie Exorcist was shot. And it was a lot of interest, as Julia said before. People
It was
were
a lot of
literally fainting in movie
yeah, it
theaters.
was a lot of accidents on set, fire. It was the
Yeah.
lightning bolts and everything. People from the crew were usually let go of just like instantly because of something that that happened. Also, the director, he was acting pretty odd, I think, for even for the filming industry. It's been rumored that he could just grab the gun just during the action, and it was something that people did not anticipate, and they couldn't actually like work with it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to me, this movie potentially can be cursed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the actor Jack McGowan, right?
Hmm.
Maugran.
Yeah.
Maugran. Okay. Uh, I don't know what's happening to my English today. My English today is not top notch. Anyway, he died after from a heart attack after
Yeah,
shooting
he
this
shot
movie.
his last. Yeah, he shot his last scene and he died after this.
Yeah, and actress Ellen Burstyn, her house was caught on
Mm-hmm.
fire,
Yeah.
and a lot of crew members and actors also had accidents or sudden illnesses. And when it happened to one person, it's one thing. But when you say pattern, right? Right? Something
Yes,
is happening.
because
Something is not
yeah.
right.
Also, the actress that also died in the movie died just after Jack McGovern. It was Vasilisky Maliaros, and it happened like it happened just too fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know what actually happened. I don't know if I believe certainly that this movie is cursed, but it had such a big impact on regular viewers also that I think something could be lurking inside this movie. Something that
Yeah.
is not that people who made it could not contain. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's a curse. I don't know if it's some spirits or whatever, but I think the movie was so powerful in the making. It was so powerful visually, and it has so many actors' emotions inside it that it could create some
Some atmosphere.
vortex or of the sort.
Maybe
Yeah.
there was something brought to set, but it was different. Like for example, it was one of the first movies, right? As we said at the beginning about a religious theme connected to the whole plot and the special effects. That was, it was one of the earliest one. But after that, there was a lot of movies made with devil possessing a person, right? That talk about supernatural TV series. Like it's constant possession, but no one, nothing happened to people, right? It was like
I
a
think
joke.
it was
Just,
just a joke, and I think
yeah,
it sometimes people touch some things, some surfaces that they don't have to, and that's why it creates this opportunity for the unknown to come out, and we
yeah,
cannot do anything about it. We have tons of movies about demons. We have now tons of movies about exorcism, but we don't hear anything that happened there. Maybe
yeah.
someone says
In
something, but
remakes, there were
not to
remakes,
that
nothing happened.
yeah, but not to that extent. I think that because
Mm-hmm.
people were making it very, very seriously, and people were actually like so into it, they were not that, joyful, and they were not joking doing this. That's why it kind of gives the vibe of something that should not be in here. Like, if you
Yeah.
remember watching the first Ring, Zvanok,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you could I mean, I'm talking about Japanese movie because I don't like American
Yeah, yeah.
movies. So you could actually feel that, I mean, I could feel that I was very cautious of watching new videotapes, because it has such a big
It had an
impact on me.
impact. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that something's going on really with this movie, to me.
Yeah, and the people were the cast members, the crew. They reported that they felt uncomfortable during the filming. So,
Yeah.
in that director was so strange. He was so into it. Who knows? Maybe he had some
Who
rituals
knows?
before and after. Who knows what really was going on, like in his world, right? In his
Yeah.
house, and how did he prepare himself? How if he pulled out a gun? That was a little, intense, I would say, right? You would not
Yes,
expect the director to that.
and also in such movies we have some rights that people are, pronouncing on the different languages, like Aramaic or something like this, and sometimes we don't know what we are saying, and we don't know what we're hearing. So I think that this also can, the magic of sound is also something very interesting, and
Yeah,
you should, yeah, you should, the power of word, you have to always think about it. You have to always be
yeah,
cautious about.
absolutely. And they use a lot of language there, right?
Yeah,
A lot of Latin. I mean, we don't know what they're saying, right? And probably he used something out of it before the movie, that I
I
believe
don't know.
he did.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
but
let's talk about the second movie, The Omen,
yes, the Omen. We're
because it
talking
was
about the Omen. Okay.
1976.
Yes, one
Omen
of my
is
absolute
1976.
favorites. Absolute favorite. Not favorite, one of.
One of the favorite, yes, and one of the very odd movies also, because of the rhythm of this movie. It is very, very calm and up until
It was
the
paced
moment, and
so
then just,
perfectly.
yeah,
Perfect
yes.
pacing. Beautiful,
And the
beautiful
child
work.
actor, oh,
Yeah.
he was, it was the perfect casting for the boy, and his eyes. Every time when I watch this movie and I look at this child, I'm like, something's really not right with him.
Did you read about anything about him? Because I did not even research the Omen, so I don't know the history behind it. I don't know if anything happened to them, or like what happened to this
I
actor when he grew up.
He's not continuing his actor life as you could
Mm-hmm.
imagine this boy
Mm-hmm.
should, because of how he actually acted, how he actually,
Yeah. Yeah. He was
mm,
too good. He was too good at it.
yeah, yeah, he was
Yeah.
very good in it. So I think that Omen is also very heavy on the psychological side, because of
Mm-hmm.
the theme, child and a demon, and you know you gotta admit that he's not a good one, and you gotta unalive him. So
You have to make
um
the choice that's thing like you have to
yeah,
make a choice and
yeah.
stuff like that. I remember it kept me like not the movie but the book. I read the book and it kept me up
mm.
at night. I was like
I didn't read
thinking
the book,
about
I
it. I
think.
was like it was
I think I didn't read the book. Yeah.
it's definitely made me uneasy. That book, I was thinking about it all the time. It was very well. I don't know if it was written afterward.
I don't know,
Was
but
it
also the
that
one
I
of the
read it?
producers of this movie, he said that if you're going to watch this movie, you're gonna have problems. So even people who were inside this production, they kind of
Mm-hmm.
felt uneasy about this thing, and maybe because of the themes, maybe because how everything worked out so good, so perfect. But yeah, I think that this also one of the movies that could potentially be cursed or awaken something that they should have. They had the
Yeah.
problems with lightning bulbs, and if you remember, Gregory Peck's son
Mm-hmm.
unalived himself just 2 months prior to the shooting
Mm-hmm.
process.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't remember
And
that.
yeah, and one of the screenwriters, he was in the airplane, and the lightning struck this airplane. He survived also, and Gregory Peck also had this accident, the same accident. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like something we're telling them stop or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But this one is also very interesting for me from the point of curses, because I think it could potentially be a little dangerous.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm keep in my head. I keep comparing those movies with this subject to the to supernatural, which
I
was
wouldn't.
15 seasons, and
I
everything was
wouldn't.
that could possibly be touched in the religion subject was touched there, was mentioned, and never anything happened. And the
We don't
beautiful
know. We don't
actors
know.
live
We don't
beautiful
know
life.
if
We don't
anything
know, but
happened.
from what we know, they did 15 seasons. They had families. They changed jobs. They did other movies, and from what we know, everything was fine.
Maybe
But
it
again, they
created.
didn't go deeply.
Yeah, maybe it created the opportunity to get rid of a person, not a whole crew. Maybe it wasn't cursed, as a movie. Maybe it was something in there that was kind of dangerous. I don't know. But this is the movie that I think it potentially could be cursed for me.
The Omen
Yeah,
could
the
that
Omen
be?
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
Um.
also had the deaths inside, because the director was in the car crash and he survived by miracle. One of the person who was making spецэффекты,
Special effects.
yeah, special
Yeah.
effects, that he was also affected. And I think that his assistant was actually in the accident, and she died after this. So it was, it was piling up, and this movie has too many accidents, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Too many accidents. Always too many. There's sometimes one is too
just
many,
like
but if
the
it's
yes, just like the next movie that we're going to talk about,
yeah,
Poltergeist.
this is the probably the most the movie filled with all kind of craziness, and it's the Poltergeist. It's shot in
You know what? This is
1982
yeah,
by
yeah. You
Toby
know what?
Hooper.
This is the one and only movie that actually scared me shitless. All three movies, they were so awful in a way of how realistic they looked like, because of
Mm-hmm.
everything, because of the TVs, and and I was a little girl when I was watching them, and I actually got scared really bad.
Yeah, how old were
And
you when you watched that? You were little.
yeah, I was little. Of course, I watched
Your
them,
parents let you
after they
watch
were.
it?
I
Ah,
watched
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Ay 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 ay, and I loved them, and I couldn't stop myself. But and all the characters, the casting was so bright, the casting was so delicious, that every actor was just on the perfect place.
The
It was
good
a perfect
casting.
match. It was such a great picture in the whole. But the everything that happened,
Dominic
because
Dune was a Dominic
yeah,
Dune, and it's a sister of the main actress, and the main actress was Heather O'Rourke. O'Rourke,
yeah,
right?
and everything that happened, her dying, and like her screen sister dying. she
Yeah.
was uh she was shot by her boyfriend, and this is something that tells me that this particular case is very, very close to what we can call being cursed, because of the real skeletons that were used on sad. If you remember, that's one of the stories that
Mm-hmm.
going around, that actually the first movie, when they had this, the skeletal remains, that they didn't make it like a prop. They actually used the real ones. So yeah, I think that this is potentially one of the cases of angry spirits, if we can call it that way.
Yeah, I guess that girl started getting sick, and she got sicker, and she finally died, and she was like
Yeah.
12 years old or something, right? She was
Yeah, she
a
was very
child.
little.
She was perfect for this role. She was a fantastic actress, but it's very difficult to not think about it like, it just happened because it's
Yeah,
life
and because
and
of
things happen.
and because
Yeah.
yeah, and because of everything that we have, we know that the one that actually played a priest, he also died because of the stomach cancer, and it happened very fast, and no one actually even thought that this is possible. And Dominic Dan, that was her screen sister, that was killed. It was shot by the person that she was kind of by the person that she knew. It was also, it was very unexpected. It just happened, and it was all during the process of those three movies: Poltergeist 1 and 2 and third one. Yeah.
Yeah, and even though they had a lot of accidents, they kept shooting and shooting those movies.
Yes. Yeah, they
Because
kept
when
shooting
there
those
is,
movies.
yeah, well,
Because first
there's
one was
money.
first one was the actual hit. It is now a cult classic, I think. It is now a
Yeah,
classic of
absolutely.
mystical movies,
Absolutely.
not a horror movies, but the mystical movies. And also the second one was very huge success, and the third one was not the huge success because of everything that happened and because of how the main actress looked and everything, yeah. So the third one was not necessary. Let's talk about The Crow with Brendan Lee.
Yeah.
With Brendan Lee.
Well,
I don't
do
think
you think
it was cursed. I don't think it was cursed. I think it was a greatest misfortune that happened to the son of Bruce Lee. I think that, yeah, it is very graphic. It is very gothic. It's very dark, but I don't think that, this was the deed of something supernatural, unusual, demonic, and whatever. I think it's just a very, very sad accident that took life of a very promising actor.
Yeah, and it's also because it wasn't one accident. If it was a chain of events and something happens to someone else, that would be a different story. But it's really was an accident. And
I also think that because and I also think that because of lack of money, the greed was the main curse that followed this movie, because of very long hours of working, tired people, and lack of attention of what they were actually doing. So to me, this is the movie that was not cursed. That was a movie that just it's a human deed. That's just what I think about it.
Yeah, there was a few movies, not a few, it was a lot of movies where something happened to the directors and actors that happened after movies, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember? But it was not related.
Yeah. Do you remember there was this almanac based on the Stephen King novels, Twilight Zone, and they had this little story where a person, very rude person, he actually went backwards to the past, and he went to Vietnam War. And if you don't remember, just watch this. And the actor and two young boys that were filming this particular scene, when they were trying to escape the helicopter, they actually died. They were because of the accident that happened on set, and all three were the victims of also I think a human error. People say that this is a cursed movie. I don't think that's a cursed movie. I think it's just a human deed. I think that you guys have another cursed. I don't think it's a movie. It's a cursed role. It's a Superman. Do you remember how many actors actually played the Superman and what happened to them? All of them, except for Henry Cavill, I guess, had this misfortunes, and of course, I don't think it was a cursed, but something in this particular role, gives a bad vibes for me.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. Never thought of it. I've heard about it. I just never thought that that was a thing personally.
Do you remember the movie or the story about movie Atuk?
Which one?
Atuk.
Atuk?
No. Yeah, Atuk. So
yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's been said that this is the screenplay, the cursed screenplay that destroyed the actors, because I think it was 3 or even 4 actors that should have acted, that should play the role. So first, I think that John Belushi had to be acting in this movie, and he died. The other actor, Sam Kinison, and he died.
Oh, yeah.
In 1994, they started the talkings about, trying to make this movie again by the same screenplay. And they actually asked Chris Farley to play the role. And he dies because of the drugs. Yikes. Next year, they asked Phil Hartman, and he dies.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did he agree, or they just asked him and he agreed? Right?
It's been rumored that he agreed to play the role, to take the role, but he died.
His wife, already after you heard that 3 people died before you.
His wife found him. So, and because of the drugs too, he died of the overdose. They tried to make this again. I don't remember, actually. I just remember the story behind it. It was something based on a comedy, I guess. They asked Jack Black. They also asked, I think, Will Ferrell, but the movie never actually came true. They never made it. So this cursed screenplay, it ate 4 actors.
That's insane. And if it's a comedy, like what was it, the screenwriter's spirit attached to it with executing the actors? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, there is a lot of movies.
Yes. So I think that there's a lot of movies that we can talk about that they were cursed, like in the Hollywood era. We also have some movies. It's V.
Yeah, V. It's a movie about demon, basically, right?
Well, it's not a devil, it's not demon, it's not Satan, it's not nothing. It's it's a creature. It's a folkloric creature.
But the actual plot of the movie book originally happens in church. It's it is became religious. It mixed folk and religion.
Gogol was very, very, very religious person himself. And he wrote a lot of things about religion and everything, and he was very odd in his mind. I love Gogol very much. So this movie is actually thought to be cursed because of everything that happened. People here, I don't know about people like in America, but here in Russia, they don't like to lay in a coffin, even for the shootings. I
don't think anyone likes to lie in a coffin unless they're vampires.
Well, it's a superstition that, been said that if you're going to do that, something bad is going to happen to you. And actually, Natalia Varley, that played the role of Panichka, she told that she had some accidents after this movie. She said, even in one of her interviews, I think that if she knew that this and this would happen to her, she wouldn't agree to play the part. I don't know if I believe that this movie is cursed, but something actually, it's like very naughty spirit. I believe in naughty spirit that possessed this movie, that might have possessed this movie.
Was it shot in church or was it shot in the set? Do you know? Like, where was the set?
I don't remember where was the set. It was, of course, no, it was not a real church. It was just it was a decoration. But I think that everything lies inside the text. It's not the set. We have very, very famous actress here. She's the actress from the beginning of the 20th century, Vera Холодная. She
Mm-hmm.
died at the age of 25, very instantly, very like tragically, and we still don't know what happened to her. And some people say that she just died because of the pneumonia, or some died because of the sickness. Some people said that she was killed by the revolutionary people because she was, more on a monarchy side or something like this. Some people say that she was actually poisoned with the
Mm-hmm.
smell of white lilies. Very
Mm.
romantic.
Yeah, very
So
romantic.
yeah. And some people say that she was cursed and that's why she died. And I think that there's a lot of different stories about different actors and actors that their deaths are so full of mystery and
Mm-hmm.
unknown that you can say that they actually were took away by something. They were
Yeah.
taken away by something. Yeah.
Do you think that these directors or writers, screenwriters, but mostly directors probably, when they shoot the same thing, the same subject over and over, like Roman Polanski or Stanley Kubrick, or even this director Ari Aster, who shot Midsommar, and she also shot
Oh,
Hereditary.
Midsummer.
He also
Love
shot
this movie.
Hereditary, and it's
Yeah.
completely crazy. Especially Midsommar, it was insane. And those are movies about basically cults and rituals. And they're certain, they're not religious per se, but they are cults, and I mean, and their rituals. But are they personally interested in this, or and participate in this kind of activities? And that's why things happen.
If a person doing something, one thing like over and over again, it definitely means that he is interested in this thing, or something makes this person repeat itself. So I think, yeah. Sometimes people say that they've been cursed because they are afraid of something. Like we have this movie "Ночной дозор," based on the book "Ночной дозор" by Lukyanenko, and no one's been talking like this is the cursed movie or something, a cursed book,
Night
whatever.
Watch actually was here pretty famous too. So
Oh,
National
okay.
Desert Night
So
Watch.
one of the actress, she said that she was the only one who felt ill on the set, just because of nothing. Just she felt ill. So I think this is the mind that playing tricks with us. But when one person goes from one movie to another, from one movie to another, very powerful
Mm-hmm.
on on the one theme, and does nothing else after this, I think this is the something that talks through this person. Then yeah, I think that this is something that actually bothering a person inside.
But
Yeah.
if this is the Poltergeist, there or other ones, they're basically Rosemary Basil. They're supernatural, right?
Hmm.
Eyes Wide Shut was not supernatural. Things that happened did
It
not
was not
relate, were not
supernatural.
related to any,
it,
curse or
it
anything like
was
that.
no,
It was
no,
only
but
people.
Eyes Wide Shut was not based on anything supernatural, but the cults, secret societies, they known to try and awaken something. So I think this is kind of the same thing, but just from a different angle
So
to me.
did he try to tell the truth? Something that if a lot of people talked about these things happening over the years and no one believed them, right? And now everyone suddenly believes everything. Believes everything. So
Yeah.
he probably was trying to say something, right, without actually saying that.
In the case of
Maybe,
Stanley
allegedly.
Kubrick, yes. In the case of Stanley Kubrick, I do believe that he tried to say something, that he tried to warn people, that he tried to avoid talking openly, but used the theatrical scenes, theatrical moves,
Right.
and ways to talk about this particular problem. But if we are talking about some other people who were making one movie after another based on one thing, then yes, I think that they just it just bothers them very much, deeply,
Yeah,
deeply.
I believe
That's
that
why
too.
they are doing this. Yeah,
Yeah, you people, I think you people should watch Midsummer if you didn't watch Midsummer yet, because it's the most bizarre
absolutely,
movies. I think it's the most bizarre movies I've seen. One of the most bizarre movies. There's like it's not
absolutely.
something I can say. Oh, they're beautiful plot and their acting. It was just bizarre.
First of all, it's visually beautiful. It's perfect.
Yeah, until they
Everything is
started showing
so
all the
rhythmic. Yes,
horrible,
everything
disgusting
is
stuff.
so rhythmic. And also this movie shows you how the cult works.
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
it's like a science book. You
yeah.
just read how these people operate. This is a great movie. I love every part of it. I love every minute of it, and I rewatch it every bell time.
But also, listen, I wrote two books about cults. You could think that I'm so invested in it
No,
and I'm participating about it. And no, I just
no.
wanted to see for myself. I wanted to imagine how it works, but I really
In
have no
your case,
real
no.
life knowledge.
In your
I have
case,
no
you're
real life
writing
knowledge.
about in your case, you're writing about crimes. You're writing about horrors. You're writing about something that bothers your sense of stability. So I think
It's just I'm
this is
curious. It's out of curiosity
yes,
mostly.
yes,
Maybe they were
yes.
over there too, just curiosity. Maybe it's the same.
Maybe, maybe we can't go inside other people's
They
heads.
just
We don't
screeched
know.
something
It's just
they
our
weren't.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
but they were.
our opinions on what's going on, what's happening.
Yes, exactly. And it's just famous and it's famous stories, it's famous situations, and maybe they didn't expect for anything of this happen, and they just touched something they were not supposed to touch, and they didn't unknowingly. Maybe they didn't even
Yeah.
you know
Yes.
what they were doing. Unlike Stanley Kubrick, that's a different story. It seems a little personal. It seems a little personal,
I think that
considering.
Stanley Kubrick. Yes, I think that Stanley Kubrick. It's like it's a separate thing. It's an absolutely
Yeah,
separate thing, and we should
yeah,
not put it in the same category as the cursed ones and everything. So yeah, but
yeah. And
it
it's
is what
just
it
it's
is.
interesting just in the lives of everything what everything is going on right now. So, and of course we don't know the truth. We're just blubbering, and but it would be interesting to see if anything of this is the truth.
Sometimes we just want to see something that they're nothing in it. Like we have some
Yeah.
movies that actors died after this. We have this movie, if you remember, we аты баты шли солдаты, и
Mhm.
Leonid Bykov, he dies in this film under the tank. He sacrifices himself. It's the movie about the Second World War, and he sacrifices himself, and he dies like a hero. And he actually
Mhm.
died in a car crash after this movie. So you can say that this is a cursed movie too, but it's not. It's not. It
Yeah.
just happened. It's just a coincidence. So
Yeah.
we have to separate those things. We have to separate what's just the life brings us, and what actually is so strange and so unbelievable and so odd that you can't think anything but the curses or some spirits and creatures that invaded this
Yeah.
particular
And we're,
set.
we're curious, we're curious creatures. We want to know. And we want to things maybe be there even though they're not. Oh, by the way, do you know that they found second sphinx under the first sphinx just recently in Egypt?
No, I should.
Underground.
I was working. I was making my own
Well,
movie.
some people,
So
some people work, some
yeah,
people work and watch TikTok at the middle of the night. And I just found out that
I
yesterday the
didn't read the
second
news yet,
sphinx
but
was
I will.
found. The second, it's TikTok. The second sphinx was found,
I
and
I think that
crazy.
the Egyptian theme is a very interesting one, and the curses of Egyptian pharaohs is a very interesting thing, and the Book of the Dead from the Egypt. Don't you think it's a time to talk about this also?
I think so. I think so. All right, we're ready for our next podcast. We know what we're going to talk about. You be ready
Yes.
because it's
Be
coming.
ready for us.
It's coming. Yes.
Yes,
And
because we are now starting our new season.
yeah,
And I think that it's going to be more interesting and more spicy. I hope so.
yeah.
And
Well,
please
we'll
write us
dedicate it to more
the
to true
comments.
crime. Mhm.
Yeah, write us comments. What do you think about cursed movies? Do you know any other cursed movies? Do you believe in curses in the movies? Do you believe in curses like at all? And maybe you can recommend us something to watch. Like
I know
and
what they,
subscribe.
yeah, and I know that's what they do believe. They do believe now in cults.
Yes,
Elites.
yes, I think so.
Yeah,
So like and
but
subscribe and hit the bell and
and
wait
we'll
for
see you
our
next
next
time.
podcast. See you next time.
Bye
Bye.
bye.